On today's show, we are off to Le Mans, France for round 1 of the 2022 FIM Sidecar World Championship. We bring you a plethora of action from around the globe with FIA Pure Motorsport. Then we are back on home turf with highlights from round 3 of the MI Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbikes Championship from Wakefield Park Raceway. This is Speedweek.
It's been a long, dark winter, but the sun is out here in France. We are at the top end of a 2022 season, a brand new FIM Sidecar World Championship year. It's going to be magnificent. 8 rounds. We start here at the Bugatti circuit in Le Mans. We then run to World Superbikes. We're traveling with World Endurance. It promises to be one of the best seasons ever, if not the best season. 8 rounds on the calendar. Just look where we're going. Yes, indeed, 8 rounds and iconic tracks kicking off here at Le Mans. Assen, the Netherlands, Spa-Francorchamps, you can't get better than that. Off to Hungary, then Croatia, Donington Park with World Superbikes, Oschersleben in Germany, and the grand finale in Portugal, hopefully in the sunshine this year. After setting pole position in the opening qualifying session, Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes had a massive crash in the second one. Just look at the state of the man. Well, you can't see, but underneath those glasses, he's not a pretty sight. What a big crash, and fast.
Yeah, it wasn't good, Barry. Just one of them things we were pushing a little bit too hard. I think a little bit inexperience came into it, and the slight bobble tried to save it and ended up going through one of the signage boards that are supposed to be polystyrene, but it was like hitting a brick wall. And yeah, that's what smashed me in the face and flipped over and went upside down. And yeah, it's a big shame, but unfortunately these things happen in racing and just got to learn, come back stronger.
Mark, the work going on behind you to get the bike ready, there's absolutely no way you could have got out in the first race, but hope there is for tomorrow, surely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think the first race was obviously ambitious. Well, we haven't got the parts here for starters, but we plan to get it up and running tomorrow, and yeah, plan to go back out and give it our all again. So yeah, we'll be back faster and stronger.
Brave boys, that's for sure. It was indeed a massive crash, but breezy here. They're the reigning champion, Markus Schlosser and Marcel Fries in that distinctive Gustoil yellow Yamaha. From Scotland, Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood down there from the south of England on the Quattro Yamaha. Todd Ellis, calm and composed. Runner-up last year, isn't going to be his year in 2022. Benny Stroyer and Kevin Kolsch. Oh, there's a problem on the start already for Schlosser, hand in the air before the off, and he's having to push off the grid, so his start will be from pit lane. Oh, that's drama. The opening race, the start of the opening race of the 2022 season, and Schlosser is in pit lane. Where they go then? And in the sunshine here in front of a very appreciative crowd and into the lead, Tim Rees, Kevin Russo on the Bonova Action Yamaha from the word go. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement slotting in behind. That very famous Dunlop Bridge on this iconic track through the chicane and up and over the hill. Finding their way through. Benny Stroyer looking good. Benny Stroyer and Kevin Kolsch on the Adolf RS. Tim Rees, teammate on the Bonova Action bike. They had a bad injury last year, Benny Stroyer, but he's back to full fitness by. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with, and indeed he's having a good look at the back of Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. It's a very focused, quiet young man, composed. His French lady passenger has this lifelong ambition to be a world champion. Is this going to be the year? Out of pit lane then goes the reigning champion, Markus Schlosser, joining the race at least half a lap down. There's the course car. There's the course car. So he has got a massive job ahead of him, but he's got 18 laps to do. Ted and Vincent Peugeot on the blue and white number 74 outfit. That boy is 19 years of age with his father in the chair. Probably the quickest move from France. And thank goodness we've got the strong French engine. Very popular, of course, and a massive crowd to applaud the efforts of the French. Through then on Peugeot goes Kershaw and Charlwood. That chicane is going to be a very popular passing place, I think. You can see Ryan Charlwood doing his thing. Now on the back of Benny Stroy, the number 29 Quattro Yamaha of Steve Kershaw. Last season, I would have described them as the best of the rest, although they did have victory at Donington Park, if my memory serves me well. But this year, they're sharper, they're looking very, very focused. He's focused as the race leader, Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo. Look at that freight train. 5 outfits, about the distance of an articulated lot. Fighting his way through then. Here comes Markus Schlosser. He and Marcel Fries looking very, very strong. Underneath Janusz Remsi and Weschelberger. Manfred Weschelberger, the Austrian, and Janusz Remsi, a long-time stalwart of sidecar racing in Slovenia. Good to see him here. He's a sponsor of Tim Reeves at one point, I remember. We saw the Remsi racing bike that Reeves raced. That is Vinet, Claude and Cyril Vinet, one of the French crews going well. Todd Ellis has not given up, he's on the back. Well, he won't give up really, it's a World Championship race, but it's the opening race. In fact, there you can see fighting through Benny Stroyer. So now we've got a 4-man breakaway, 5-man breakaway. Indeed, just look how close they are. Benny Stroyer then, and Kevin Koloc. Looking on the outside of Todd Ellis. That's his teammate ahead. And underneath Ellis they've gone. Have they made it stick? Yes, they have. So up to second goes Benny Stroyer. At the chicane though, Todd Ellis fighting back. They're alongside, neck and neck. Benny Stroyer on the left, Todd Ellis on the right. He's got the line on the inside. He's going to keep it clean and he's through. Ted Peugeot going well now. Ted Peugeot smells a bit of a podium job here in local company. How good would that be? This battle for third place. Up to third goes Kershaw. What a race to start the 2022 season. Phenomenal action. Kershaw Charlwood. Their main focus for 2022, the World Championship. We might see them at the odd British round. Both championships, of course, organised and promoted this year by Roger Body, who has done such a sterling job with the British Championship, now aiming to bring the World Championship to the same level. Underneath another back marker goes Markus Schlosser, making up half a lap disadvantage. That is phenomenal, but he's got 18 to do it. That's the number 33 of Paul L'Église and Melanie Farnier, another lady passenger. L'Église has been going very strongly, so that was no mean feat for Schlosser to slide underneath the Frenchman. Todd Ellis, let's keep an eye on Todd Ellis. And Emmanuel Clement shadowing Tim Reeves and Kevin Russo. Here they come. It's a good passing place at the end of the start-finish straight before they get to the Dunlop. Go, and the right-hander then of course up the hill towards the Dunlop chicane. Stroyer looking at Kershaw and through at that chicane. So once again up to third, Benny Stroyer, Kevin Koloc, and pushing hard now behind Kershaw is Ted Persia. Still in second place, Todd Ellis. Still leading Tim Reeves. 19-year-old. Incredible, this young man. Ted Persia, father in the chair, as I said. What's it going to be? Todd Ellis having a look at the inside now. Is he alongside Tim Reeves? Is he past? Our camera not giving us a view of that. No, he's not, is the simple answer. But he's looking very, very hard and trying every which way to get past the 8 times world champion. Tim Reeves on the podium at so many and having lifted so many titles. An evergreen, omnipresent podium contender, Tim Reeves. Changed many passengers over the years, but second season with Kevin Rousseau, and they go well together. Here's Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. It always astonishes me how good these ladies are, and I mean that with the utmost respect. This is a highly physical sport. And 18 laps round here is something like a test of endurance the solos will be putting on over the next 24 hours when that race gets underway at 20. Still the convoy, Kershaw dropping off the back a little. Ellis still in second place. Surely he's going to bide his time and take a look on Tim Reeves. Tim Reeves, the most wily competitor out there, without a shadow of a doubt. Are we going to see him in the full championship? I do hope so. Of course, he's got Isle of Man TT duty coming up after the second round. So he will effectively miss round 3 at Spa. Is that going to be enough to deter him from contesting the rest of the series? Well, we certainly hope not, because we need his flavour, and he will be aiming, of course, for Steve Webster's all-time record, and through goes Todd Ellis! Through goes Todd Ellis on Tim Reeves. Reeves fighting back, as you would expect. And using all the track and more, Todd Ellis having to go into the country a bit to keep it on the island. But he hasn't quite kept it on the island. Having another look then, Tim Reeves, Todd Ellis has marginally got the advantage here, but now he's got it and he's kept the place. Looking here for Benny Stroyer doing a great job. These two fighting, through goes Reeves again. Oh, he's gone in too hot and wide, nearly given the place to his teammate Stroyer. Stroyer 21, Ted Peugeot now up to third. Peugeot and Vance on Peugeot, his father, up to turn, oh, a spin, oh, Stroyer cannot miss him. Benny Stroyer in on Ted Peugeot. Oh no, a shake of the head from the Dutchman, former world champion, his father 4 times indeed, 3. That's correct. A world champion, Egbert Stroyer back in the day. And now we can see Marcus Schlosser making ground up here because Benny Stroyer is damage limitation. He must have damaged the outfit with that impact on Ted Peugeot. Peugeot then out of the gravel. Are they going to continue? Yeah, okay, so let's go again. No, that's it. Hand in the air from Benny Stroyer. Hand in the air from Benny Stroyer. Race 1, game over. What a shame for the Dutchman. Oh, shake of the head, body language tells you everything. Meanwhile, on the last lap, Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement now with a visible lead. This is going to be a brilliant debut victory for them in the 2022 season. The Kobelco bike looking resplendent in the sunshine, as indeed is their riding style. Down towards the chicane for the final time. Through they go. Fist in the air from the people on pit wall, the supporters, the teams, everyone helping these guys to what has been an incredible start to their season. But what a brilliant result for Schlosser from the back of the grid. Phenomenal, he's on the podium. Victory then for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. A wave from Tim and Kevin, thumbs in the air, good race, good clean race. And Schlosser, hats off to you, sir. Confirmation then. Ellis, Clement, Reeves, Schlosser. That's your podium. Kershaw, what a brave fight from them. 5 seconds off in 18 laps, not too shabby. They split away from the rest of the field. Lucas Wies and Thomas Hoffer Probably Glees of Farney, Afine, Kevin Cable, Chaz Richardson. 8, what a great result. There, Galan Pierre. Remsey, some points, 2 laps of the boys up there, Tim Reeves, happy with that one, that's great. Runners up, they know they're running on the pace. Well, in the sunshine here, the crowd had a second race coming up. Schlosser this time made no mistake. He was there on his front row qualifying position. And what did he do? Well, third place in the first race was an absolutely amazing result. When the lights went up, the packed grandstand applauded the sidecars as they headed in to the first turn. And then, of course, the Dunlop chicane awaited them. Schlosser did not get the best of starts, but it could be another one of his fantastically quick starts, who got the drop ahead of Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement. Ellis fought back and briefly slotted into the lead. It looked as though it was going to be deja vu here. Lucas Wies and Thomas Hoffer got a great start ahead of Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charles, and this young Swiss was looking very, very good here at the opening round. Such an amiable, likeable bloke, sponsored by Gus Doyle, so effectively a teammate, if you like, in terms of sponsorship to his fellow countryman Marcus Schlosser. But Kershaw and Charlwood moved out of the slipstream and past the young Swiss. Nonetheless, they kept at it, those boys, and it was a great race. Kershaw was on his way, but mixing with Wiesen and Hoffer has let the top 4 3 away, in fact. And Kershaw then had to play a little bit of catch-up at the front of the car. The battle between Reeves and Ellis was going so strongly. Reeves assumed control again, Ellis having briefly led for a lap and a half, but then Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau were back in front, desperate to make amends for a runner-up spot in the opening race. 25 points already in the bag for Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, 20 points in the bag for Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau. Schlosser, having earned 16 in the opening race, will be desperate to get victory here. Would that even be possible? He was not in the hunt at the moment, but there was a fantastic scrap going on between Stroyer, Wiesen, Leglees was in there, Peugeot was in 8th, and so further down the order there was a huge, huge scrap. The front 4 had got away, but this was very entertaining, and Peugeot, desperate to make amends for his first race spin, was doing a good job here. Unfortunately, there was no damage. There was a bit of contact there, as you could see. Peugeot capitalising, and Peugeot went through on Wiesen as well. So Peugeot having another strong ride in this one. Here at the front, you can see how Marcus Schlosser made his way through, past Todd Ellis, up to second. Now he was in the hunt, and at this point in the race, he was closing down the 8 times world champion. Meanwhile, with Peugeot still there in 5th, off the back, doing a terrific, terrific job. Kevin Cable, Charlie Richardson retired into the pits, sadly. 8th place in race 1, but weren't able to do anything about it. Kevin Kolsch, desperately disappointed, having to put his hand up again for the second time. He and Benny Stroyer were out of the race. At the front though, 2 world champions at it, Hammer and Tongs, and behind them, a young man who aspires to be a world champion, just having to watch them at it. Marcus Schlosser moved out of the slipstream of Tim Reeves and claimed the place in impeccable style, closing the door on the way out. Reeves went round the outside, and this battle raged for 2 or 3 laps, with Schlosser, as you will see, getting the eventual verdict. Marcus Schlosser and Marcel Fries, having been racing for such a long time, have come into their own in the 2021 season. Schlosser once again moved ahead on that long, long straight, with Reeves fighting back. Just so entertaining, and through went Todd Ellis as well, up to the Dunlop Bridge. Schlosser then, these 3 bashed bearings and vied for space on the track throughout the 18-lapper, or certainly the second half of the race, when all 3 of them were trying to share the same piece of time. once again Marcus Schlosser moved through. The sun beating down in Le Mans. It was the most glorious weekend. Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charwood always there, carrying a watching brief. Tom Ellis sitting in the wheel tracks, knowing full well that with 25 points in the bag, he needed a strong finish in this race to consolidate his championship position. Would it be the championship lead? That is my question, because in the position he was in at this moment, he would not be in the championship lead. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes, having put their bike together after that massive crash, were running very, very strongly. They were moving up through the field from the back of the grid and were eventually to finish in 8th place, which was a phenomenal performance on a 20-year-old borrowed RCN machine. Hopefully they would get their own bike back together in time for the next round in Assen. But Marcus Schlosser and Marcel Fries just did a great job in race 2, and they took the checkered flag. It was victory for them, and 25 points, turning what could have been a disastrous weekend into an okay result. Thank you very much. Tim Reeves slipped down to 3rd. Ellis managed to salvage a 2nd place from that, and beaten by a better man, I have to say, on the day. Kershaw and Peugeot, what a great ride for Ted Peugeot. He was there. Louise, Beeson, Payne and Wilkes, hats off to those boys. Vinay Lebel, thank goodness for the French. They were strong here in Le Mans, and why wouldn't they?
Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, the first 2 races of the 22 season done and dusted, but what a weekend here in Le Mans. Let's talk about the 2 races, Todd. Yesterday, if I may say so, the most mature performance I've seen from you. You just held your breath and kept your tone and kept going well.
Yeah, we're just trying to learn from last year and bring all that experience into this year, so we're just steady away, watched what Tim was doing at the front, picked a right moment to pass him once, and then try to make a gap and lead it from there.
Emmanuel, home ground for you. What does it mean in front of those fans? In the grandstand, they were going crazy.
I'm really happy because we start the year really good, and yeah, it's really nice to see all these people, and same like before COVID, so yeah, I enjoy it.
Marcus Schlosser and Marcel Fries defending their championship. Started off a little bit shaky yesterday, but finished up on the podium unbelievably. But what a race today. You must feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect race. We, in the beginning, a little bit slowly. Koloc was going, and yeah, and then we push and go and win.
Were you surprised yesterday that you came from the back of the grid to get on the podium?
Yeah, it's very crazy. The clutch go out, and I think, this is not a good start for this season. But will you? Finishes, and we try hard, fast, and the 3 place on the end on the race. Perfect.
Well, there it is. A 4-point lead for Ellis and Clement. Schlosser, Reeves, Kershaw. That's the championship position going into round 2. Kershaw going strongly. Wiesen, Leglis, Vinay, Peugeot. He must be happy with that. Champagne time on the podium.
Well, it feels like we've got a season up and running here in Le Mans. The weather's been absolutely perfect. The racing has been good. We had a strong grid, and what's more, we've got 5 or 6 crews really, really capable of running at the sharp end and doing battle, as you've seen. We're in Holland, in Assen, the Cathedral of Speed, would you believe? That's what it's known as. I hope the weather's like this. That's just 1 week away. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you there. But for now, bye-bye.
to FIA Pure Motorsport. On this week's episode, we'll travel to Jordan to bring you some really great action from the Jordan Baja. We'll have the best action from the opening round of the FIA Historic Rally Championship. And we'll take a closer look at a remarkable young driver, Aliyah Koloc, and much, much more from the FIA World of Motorsport. The second round of the FIA World Cup for cross-country Bajas and the opening encounter in the Middle East Series is fought out over 2 legs through the spectacular Martian-like landscapes of Jordan's Wadi Rum and Wadi Araba in southern Jordan. On the first day, the 20 crews have to take on the first of 2 competitive sections of 232 kilometers and 81 kilometers through Wadi Rum. And from the start, the heat is on. Just 12 kilometers into the first stage, Saudi Arabia's leading driver and pre-race favorite Yazid Al-Raji in his Toyota Hilux breaks his drive shaft, losing around 80 minutes. After the first leg, he is just in 12th place. That opens the door for the other crews. The biggest surprise on the first day is 17-year-old driver Aliyah Koloc, who despite her lack of experience finishes 5th overall and 2nd in the T3 category for lightweight prototype machines. Miroslav Zaplatal from the Czech Republic finishes in 4th place on day 1 in his Ford F-150. Right in front of him are 2 Category T4 Can-Am Mavericks, Mshari Al-Tafir in 3rd place and Kees Kolen in 2nd place. But Saleh Al-Saif is comfortably the fastest driver through the first sections in his Can-Am. The Saudi and his Russian co-driver Igor Okhotnikov stay clear of trouble and storm to a 6-minute 44-second overnight lead. After leg 1, Saleh Al-Saif is in front of Kees Kolen and Mshari Al-Tafir, who is just 8 seconds behind the Dutch driver. On day 2, the competitors visit Wadi Araba for the first time. The stunning geographical feature runs from the Gulf of Aqaba to the southern shores of the Dead Sea, and drivers tackle a 150-kilometer-long selective section. Yazid Al-Raji tries everything and storms to the fastest time in the Wadi Araba, but the time deficit is too much for the Saudi to break into the top 10, and he reaches the finish in Aqaba in 12th overall. Spanish driver Fernando Alvarez also has a great day. He quickly improves 2 places and then tries to attack Aliyah Koloc in 5th place. But the 17-year-old Emirati girl defends her solid position and ends the rally with a top 5 finish and a 2nd place finish in the T3 category. A stunning performance. Mshari Al-Tafir pushes hard across the rain-soaked tracks of Wadi Araba and manages to snatch 3rd place overall and the T4 win from Kees Kolen. With a great performance, Miroslav Zaplatal once again creates excitement. The experienced Czech pilot fights his way closer and closer to the leader, Saleh Al-Saif. But in the end, the Saudi Arabian is able to fend off the late challenge to seal the win by a margin of 2 minutes 56 seconds. He becomes the first ever driver of a T3 lightweight prototype vehicle to win an international FIA Baja event. Saleh Al-Saif edges Miroslav Zaplatal for his first win of the new season. A good 3rd place for Mshari Al-Tafiri. Surprise at the Baja Jordan was clearly Aliyah Koloc. The 17-year-old newcomer quickly reached 5th place in the overall and 2nd place in the T4 category. On the other hand, it's not all that surprising when you take a closer look at the unusual and unique career of this extraordinary young woman. It's also important to note that Aliyah lives with Asperger's syndrome, also known as Asperger's. It's an autism spectrum disorder, but differs from other ASDs by relatively unimpaired language and intelligence. Aliyah's sport until an injury cut that short was tennis. After that, she was looking for a new challenge, and it is a particularly big one in the truest sense of the word, truck racing. What motivates a 16-year-old to race a 5-ton vehicle? Let's find out.
Well, my father was a truck racing, and my uncle, David, he was racing, so it's just all around me. So then last year I played tennis, and then I stopped, so then I tried trucks.
Her father is multiple ETRC champion Martin Koloc and owner of the Bagura racing team. In 2019, she took part in test drives for the first time, and tennis was quickly forgotten.
Completely different. I like that when I'm truck racing this time, I'm covered. I have a cabin and a helmet, because in tennis, I didn't like how everyone sees my every move. So I'm happy I'm closed.
In August 2020, as the youngest driver in the history of the ETRC, she drove her first race in Most, Czech Republic, and immediately made it into the points. And she believes her Asperger's proved to be helpful.
I think it does in little ways. Probably helps me focus more. Sometimes probably your mind can be somewhere else, so I can focus more on what I'm doing. So I think it helps me.
Aliyah, looking for new challenges, raced a 600-horsepower Mercedes AMG GT3 car after the truck season.
Liked it very much. I drove it last weekend with the trucks. It was very difficult, so with the GT it was much easier, so I enjoyed it very much.
This spring, she made her debut in the FIA Middle East Cup together with her sister Yasmin. Another step on the way to fulfilling her big dream, participating in the Dakar Rally next year. No wonder then that the shy 17-year-old has only one piece of advice for all young girls that want to get into racing.
I would say follow your dreams, face it, the truth.
And that's exactly what Aliyah Koloc is doing with great success. This year, the Formula Regional Asian Championship, certified by FIA, saw an impressive 28-car entry. The entries included drivers representing 15 nations, among them 4 F1 Junior Academy talents. 16-year-old American Jack Crawford from the Red Bull Junior team, 17-year-old Paul Aron, member of the Mercedes Junior team, and they're joined by Ferrari Driver Academy members Dino Beganovic and Artur Leclerc, the 21-year-old younger brother of current Ferrari F1 ace Charles. The season was held over 5 consecutive weekends with 3 races per weekend. The opening round was at Yas Marina Circuit, and there was one driver surprising everybody. 16-year-old Sebastian Montoya, son of F1 Grand Prix and Indy 500 winner Juan Pablo. Sebastian took the victory from pole position in race 1. He confirmed his very good early form with a 4th and 10th place finish in the next 2 races. The most consistent driver on the first weekend was Artur Leclerc. The Monegasque finished on the podium twice with 2 third places. But both drivers were outperformed by the young Italian Gabriele Mini. With a 2nd place in race 1 and a victory in the 3rd race, he took the lead in the overall standings. Just a 3-point lead for Gabriele Mini, Artur Leclerc in 2nd position, and Sebastian Montoya in 3rd. For round 2, the series headed to the Dubai Autodrome, and the second triple header was dominated by Frenchman Hadrien David, who was lightning quick all weekend and won the opening and closing races. Arthur Leclerc claimed his first series win in the second race and scored again in the other 2 races, 6 times in the points. His consistency puts him atop the driver classification with 73 points, 9 ahead of Adrien David and 12 clear of Hadjar in third. The third race weekend was dominated by the drivers of the Mumbai Falcons India Racing team. In the first race, Sebastian Montoya was unstoppable. The youngster showed once again why he has a great future ahead of him and bagged his second victory. His teammates naturally wanted to follow suit. Dino Baganovic drove from 8th on the grid to his first win, a great success for the Swede. But Arthur Leclerc outshone them all. After a second and third place, he is on top of the podium after the last race of the weekend. So not only a successful race weekend for the Mumbai Falcons, but also for Leclerc, who extends his lead in the championship. With a lead of 35 points, he is ahead of Spanish driver Pepe Marti and teammate Sebastian Montoya. The penultimate round saw in race 1 a spectacular and hard-fought battle between Isaac Hadjar and Paul Aron for first place. For almost the entire race, the two gave each other nothing. In the end, Hadjar prevailed, the first win of the season for the 17-year-old Frenchman. Race 2 was decided at the start. 17-year-old pole sitter Francesco Bracci's lead was short-lived, however, as he, Patrick Pasma, and Ollie Bierman headed into turn 1 in a threesome. Pasma took the lead and later became the season's 8th winner, a great performance by the Finn. With a 4th and a 5th place, it had been a rather quiet weekend for the championship leader until the third race. But then Arthur Leclerc turned up the heat. Again, it was Paul Aron who was in the lead and this time lost it to the Monegasque. This was already the third victory for Leclerc. The 21-year-old increased his lead over Pepe Marti to 40 points before the final race weekend. And this took place again at Yas Marina Circuit. In race 1, Arthur Leclerc had the pole position and blasted off the grid as the lights went out. The Ferrari Driver Academy talent dominated the race on his way to a pole-to-flag victory, taking the first title of his career with 2 races to spare. Arthur Leclerc won 4 races and scored points in every single other race. There was a double celebration in the Mumbai Falcons pit as the Indian Motorsport team clinched the team title after a phenomenal season in the championship. In the end, Leclerc was 60 points in front of super rookie Pepe Marti. Isaac Hadjar finished the season in 3rd place. Spaniard Nils Solans bagged his first FIA European Rally Championship victory after a dominant drive at Rally Serra da Fafe in Portugal. The 29-year-old left his rivals floundering as relentless rain, thick fog, and muddy gravel tracks bombarded the season opener in northern Portugal. Solans, the ERC superstar, took the lead in his VW Polo GTI R5 on the first gravel speed test, and he controlled the rally from then onwards. He maintained a healthy gap and finally sealed his maiden ERC triumph by 55.7 seconds in front of Portuguese driver Arroyo Amindo and Estonian Georg Linnamäe in 3rd position. The 48th Rally Bandama of the Ivory Coast was the opening round of the new Africa Rally Championship season. The battle for the title was a duel between Ivorian Cyril Bottari and Abdallah Hijazi in their Subaru Impreza and Zambesians Leroy and Ursula Gomez. Gomez was in the lead from the start, but Bottari stayed on him and was very unlucky when he damaged his rear axle during Special Stage 7 and had to retire. This opened the way for the Zambesian couple in their Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 4. They took their first win at the Rally Bantama and the lead in the ARC standings.
And square right, 5 left over crest, square left.
Ernie and Karen Graham are among the prominent faces at historic rally events. They're husband and wife in normal life and pilot and co-pilot when they sit together in a rally car. The British couple are an integral part of the historic rally community and they enjoy the events.
I love the community, sort of almost like we're a little family with our team, which is very nice. At the end of the day, it's all about people.
Fascination of historic rally is, I guess, principally the cars that we drive, but there's also the competition that is possible and the camaraderie that comes along with that. With historic rallying, there's very, very professional run events in absolutely lovely locations, and there's lots of people who are passionate about driving and enjoying the cars and the places that we go to.
Both have been passionate about motorsports since their early childhood.
Well, we come from sort of a background in Northern Ireland, and many of our friends and family members have been interested in motorsport, and so it's something that goes way back from my teenage years, and my wife was from the same background.
In 1994, shortly after their marriage, they were living in the Middle East and decided to start rallying. They drove their first 3 rallies together. Ernie then switched to historic cars in 2001. From the beginning, it was clear to him that his car could only be a Ford Escort.
Ford Escort was my first car. I've rallied Ford Escorts for nearly 30 years. It's an iconic car in the world of rallying. It's a joy to be driving it, again, in a way that it was intended to.
The Escorts were on road cars when I was young. When I first met Ernie, he was driving a Ford Escort as a road car, so we're from that era.
The two have been driving together again since 2018, a team that complements each other perfectly, privately and also on the rally stages.
I think he's very, very talented. I don't know how basically he does it. I can't believe I'm going as fast as I am going sometimes. And no, I'm very impressed with his rallying, and I think that's why it works. There's a high degree of trust between us. Quite good at multitasking. I'm quite good cool under pressure. Yeah, probably that's my strength. Yeah, I don't get flustered easily, I think.
I guess it's the time of life. Lots of us are sort of coming towards retirement age, and so yeah, it's just lovely to do stuff together. And doing motorsport is something where the team's important as well. So it's lovely that we can kind of do that together and do something that we enjoy and rely on each other's expertise.
We really love motorsport. It's been fantastic in our life, in our marriage.
The FIA European Historic Rally Championship returns to Spain for round 1 of the 2022 season. The historic city of Girona in Catalonia is the home of the Rally Costa Brava, which celebrates the 70th edition of Spain's oldest rally this year. On day 1, the Rally Costa Brava sees 6 special stages with rain in the morning and then dry in the afternoon, providing the teams with a tough decision on tire strategy. And the Category 3 reigning champion Zippo in his Audi Quattro makes the wrong decision in the morning. He doesn't put on rain tires and loses a lot of time. Last season's dominant driver is only in 41st place after the first 3 special stages, already almost 4 minutes behind the leader in the overall standings.
In sinistra 2 chiude, tieni. Sinistra 2 chiude, tieni. In destra 2 gira, tieni. 30. Ritarda in fila, sinistra 3 chiude, tieni. In destra 2 chiude.
Right tires, he then starts a great race to catch up in the afternoon. Zippo posts the fastest time on all 3 stages in the afternoon to close the gap to 41.2 seconds to Michael Putz.
it's really bad because we fixed our wrong tires. We used the D5, it's the medium tire, and we found a lot of water, so it's impossible to drive with the closed tire under the rain. So now at the service park we changed the tire. We tried to recover it.
Austrians Michael and Elizabeth Putz in their Porsche 911 SC have a great first leg. They're posting the fastest Category 3 times on the first 3 stages. At the end of the day, they are the overnight leaders in Category 3 and in a good 13th place overall.
5 right here and long 3 left. Into long late 6 right. Long 3 left here. Into long late 6 right tightens.
Ernie and Karen Graham are the overnight leaders in Category 1. The British crew takes the fastest time on 5 of the 6 stages. They finished the day 1 minute 38.1 seconds ahead of the reigning Category 1 champions Antonio Parisi and Giuseppe D'Angelo in the number 33 Porsche 911 S2.0. In Category 2, the Ford Escort RS 1800 of Marty McCormick and Barney Mitchell is leading after 3 stages, but the Irish crew's luck changes when they hit a rock and the suspension on the Escort breaks. That opens the door for Carlo Miele and Oliver Laporte. After day 1, the Belgians have an overnight lead in Category 2. The battle for the overall lead, however, takes place among the Category 4 cars. In the end, the BMW M3 E30 of Swiss driver Pascal Parut and his French teammate Denis Giraudet is at the head of the leaderboard by nearly 30 seconds. Close behind them in the Lancia Delta Integrale are Lucky and Fabrizia Pons in 2nd position. And just 14.3 seconds behind the Italians in 3rd spot is the BMW M3 of Jean-Francois Morc and Thierry Barjou. After day 1, there are 2 BMW M3s in the top 3 places overall. On day 2, the tire choice is easy because the weather is wet and cold. The final 6 special stages run in tricky conditions in the mountains to the west of Girona. Ernie and Karen Graham take advantage of their overnight lead in Category 1, the British crew taking the fastest time on 5 of the 6 stages on day 2, and the Flexifly Rally team to complete their first victory in Category 1 since 2019. They finished the day 3 minutes 10 seconds ahead of the reigning Category 1 champions Antonio Parisi and Giuseppe D'Angelo in the Porsche 911 S2.0. Italians Carlo Fiorito and Marina Bertanesco finish in 3rd place in their BMW 2002 Ti. In Category 2, Marty McCormick and Barney Mitchell in the Ford Escort RS 1800 have a great day. They closed the gap to the leaders by nearly 5 minutes and put a lot of pressure on the Belgian team. But the challenge proved to be too great, and Carlo Miele and Olivier Laporte take the Category 2 honors in Spain in their Porsche 911 Carrera RSR 3.0 by just 26.6 seconds. Overnight Category 3 leaders Michael and Elizabeth Putz in the Porsche 911 SC have another good day when they prove themselves again with good times. But the Audi Quattro of reigning champion Zippo is on a charge after the problems of day 1. Zippo and his Italian teammate Nicola Arena are into the maximum attack mode in the slippery conditions, closing the gap by 30 seconds on Special Stage 7 and going ahead of the Austrians on Special Stage 8. They win Category 3 and finish 4th place overall.
Destra 5 allarga, in destra 2 lunga, tieni.
The first 3 spots in the Rally Costa Brava go to Category 4 cars. The Lancia Delta Integrale of Lucky and Fabrizia Pons finishes in 3rd position. Up front, it's a duel of 2 BMW crews. The BMW M3 of Jean-Francois Morc and Thierry Barjou has to settle for 2nd place overall after a great fight. The BMW M3 E30 of Swiss driver Pascal Parut and his French teammate Denis Giraudet holds off all challenges. They post the fastest time on 2 of the stages and keep in close contact at the top of the leaderboard on the other 4 stages to claim maximum championship points after the opening round of the 2022 season. In the end, they lead by only 1 minute 25 seconds ahead of Jean-Francois Morgue, lucky with a great third place finish. That's it for today. On our next episode of FIA Pure Motorsport, we'll be searching for the next big FIA rally star. We'll be electrified by the Eco Rally Cup Valencia, and we'll show you the highlights of the beautiful Rally Kenya. Till next time, take care everybody, and ciao.